Is your family prepared for a fire-related emergency? Watch this video to find out how you can protect yourself and your family in the event of a fire. The National Fire Protection Association estimates that every 21 seconds, a fire department responds to a fire. With this high frequency, your chances of experiencing a fire are much higher than you think. Are you familiar with the timeline that occurs during each stage of a fire? As a fire progresses, it becomes increasingly difficult to suppress flames and prevent damage. Within the first minute, smoke can build rapidly, causing damage to lungs and reduced visibility. 2 to 3 minutes after the fire begins, flames spread, catching onto flammable materials such as wood, fabric, and plastic. A fatal event, flashover, occurs at the 5-minute mark, causing the mass ignition of flammable objects and eliminating any potential survivors still in the home. From that point onward, the fire continues to grow unrestricted until responders arrive, with an average response time of under 8 minutes. How can you ensure the safety of your loved ones in these situations? The first step is to understand how to classify fires and operate fire extinguishers. Let's learn about the different types of fires and which fire extinguishers we can use to combat them. A Class A fire involves wood, paper, cloth, or plastic materials. Use water, foam, or dry chemical fire extinguishers for this fire. Class B fires involve flammable liquids like gasoline or oil. Be sure to use foam, carbon dioxide, CO2, or dry chemical extinguishers to fight against these types of fires. Wondering which fire is classified as C-type? If it includes electrical equipment or appliances, then it's definitely a Type C fire. These fires can be dealt with by carbon dioxide, dry chemical, or halotron fire extinguishers. Dry powder or sand extinguishers are best for D-class fires. Combustible metals, like magnesium and phosphorus, are highly flammable and require a specific fire extinguisher to control. Finally, Class K fires are most commonly found in kitchens and can usually be the result of heated cooking oils and fats. Remove the oxygen source from these fires as quickly as possible to minimize damage. Always use the appropriate fire extinguisher for your current situation. Each one is unique and can be ineffective if used incorrectly. Now that you are familiar with the types of extinguishers there are, you might wonder, aren't all fires the same? To answer your question, yes and no. Fires are made of 3 components: oxygen, heat, and fuel. However, the material for fuel changes for each scenario. As the material changes, the method to turn off that fire changes as well. Water might work for a Class A fire, yet make it worse for an oil or electrical fire. You should always put your safety first and call 911 if the fire is uncontrollable. With that being said, let's dive into it. This type of fire is the most common one, since it can be caused by materials such as wood, paper, cloth, trash, and plastics. To take it out, you must focus on getting rid of the heat out of the fire. If it is an indoor fire, pour water on it or use a Class A fire extinguisher. If it is outdoors, there are multiple ways to deal with it. Number 1, pour water on it. Number 2, smother it with existing ash or dirt. Number 3, use a fire extinguisher. Flammable liquids and gases. Materials: gasoline, oil, paint, and lacquer. The most important thing to understand with this type of fire is that water should never be used when trying to extinguish it. Using water will only spread the flammable liquid, causing the fire to go everywhere. The best way to manage a Class B fire is to target the oxygen component of it. This can be done by using a foam fire extinguisher, which is a Class B fire extinguisher. It is important to mention that fire extinguishers are labeled based on the classes of fires they are designed to combat. Class A, B, C could be used for any A, B, or C type fires. Electrical fires. Needless to say, anything that uses electricity could cause an electrical fire, which makes these types of fires quite common. You should never use water on electrical fires. Water is a conductor of electricity, meaning the electricity can travel back through it and cause the person using the water to be electrocuted. The best thing to do is to target the heat component of the fire. Using Class C extinguishers will get the job done. The next type of fire is not a common one, and it mostly happens in an industrial setting. The materials that cause these types of fires are magnesium, titanium, potassium, and sodium. Just like Class B, target the oxygen component of the fire. This will smother and absorb the heat without reacting with the burning metal. This can be done by using sand on small fires and Class D fire extinguishers as well. Do not use Class A, B, or C on it since they're effective on metal fires and can sometimes make it worse. These types of fires are common since they are most likely to occur in commercial kitchens or any place that has cooking taking place involving things such as cooking oils, grease, or animal fats. You should always target the heat component of the fire. Two important things to point out are to always turn off the fire source if it is an option and never use water. There are different methods to deal with Class K fires depending on its size. For a small fire, if possible, turn off the stove. Cover the lid of the pot to suffocate it. Use baking soda to stop it from spreading, then turn off the stove. If it is a big or out of control fire, you should use a Class K fire extinguisher and only a Class K fire extinguisher. Classes A, B, or C may temporarily suppress the fire, but it will not stop it. Now you know how to deal with different types of fires. Please be safe out there. Fire extinguishers are classified by the types of fires they are designed to combat. Understanding these classifications is crucial for safety. Let's explore the different classes of fire extinguishers. Class A extinguishers are for ordinary combustibles such as wood, paper, and cloth. They are marked with a green triangle. Class B extinguishers tackle flammable liquid like gasoline, oil, and grease. Look for the red square symbol. Class C extinguishers are used for electrical fires. They are identified by a blue circle. Class D extinguishers are for flammable metals. These are marked with a yellow star. Class K extinguishers are designed for kitchen fires involving cooking oils and fats, shown by the black hexagon. Here is a brief summary of all the fire extinguisher classes. Remember, numbers on Class A and B extinguishers indicate their effectiveness. Next, we'll learn about the PASS acronym and how to effectively use a fire extinguisher. Let me explain and show you how to properly use a fire extinguisher with PASS. P is for pull, A is for aim, S is for squeeze, and S is for sweep. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Let's get into a bit more detail. P is for pulling the pin. Approach the fire with the fire extinguisher and pull the pin from the top of the fire extinguisher. A is for aiming the fire extinguisher. Be sure to aim the fire extinguisher away from your face and directly towards the fire. S stands for squeeze. Once you have aimed the fire extinguisher, you want to squeeze a lever to discharge the extinguisher and its content. The second S represents sweep. As you squeeze the lever, you need to use a sweeping motion from side to side to put out the fire. Repeat this motion until the fire is out. One last time, remember, PASS to properly use a fire extinguisher. P is for pull, A is for aim, S is for squeeze, and S is for sweep. Fire extinguishers are one element of a fire response plan, but the primary feature is safe escape, not to fight the fire yourself. Did you know your fire extinguisher needs regular checks in case you need one? Let's quickly audit your home fire extinguisher to ensure it's ready when you need it. First, make sure your fire extinguisher is visible and easy to access. During an emergency, every second counts. Next, look at the pressure gauge. The needle should be in the green zone, indicating proper pressure. Some extinguishers have a test button. Press it to confirm. Look at the can, hoses, and nozzle for dents, rusts, or leaks. Make sure the pull pin is intact and sealed. Clean off dust, oil, or grease. Some extinguishers need shaking. Don't forget to date the maintenance tag. This helps you track the last inspection. Finally, schedule an annual inspection with a professional. They have the tools and training to ensure everything is in shape. According to the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, home fire extinguishers should be recharged every 6 years and replaced every 12 years, even if they are not damaged. Stay safe!